Hello, I'm Avery or Hazel or Kylie. You can just pick one, I don't care.
Hello, I am Lily.
And welcome to the From the Closet podcast. Today we are covering Spies in Disguise. Obviously, this podcast will contain spoilers for said movie. If you'd like to avoid them, there is a link in the description below to the Just Watch page for this movie. Our link is to the US version of the page. However, if you use the Just Watch app, it will automatically redirect you to your country's page, and if you use the website, you can change the country from the website page. This page will have links to all of the places you can rent, purchase, or stream this movie. For us here in the US, the movie is available on Disney Plus,
Also, I believe
and it might be
Hulu.
for you. I didn't check.
I believe. I'm pretty sure anyway.
Also in the description below is a link to our Patreon where you can vote on future episodes of this show, as well as get access to episodes before they release, as well as early access to episodes of our sister show, Off the Shelf, which is about books. That podcast is exclusive to YouTube and Patreon. New episodes coming soon. At the time we're recording this, they may already be out by the time you're hearing it.
Manga podcast when?
Never. But and I mean, unless you do it.
I have to find a good place to find some manga. They can get pretty expensive.
Just go to Books a
I
Million.
don't have one, and you know it.
But anyway, also in the description is a link to Anchor.fm, where you will find links to every platform that this podcast is on, as well as links to our Instagram and Twitter. Although I suppose it doesn't lead to Anchor anymore. Blah blah blah. Whatever. Oh, and on our Instagram and Twitter, you can find out when we're. You'll be notified when we release a new episode. All right. So with that out of the way, Lily, will you please spin the wheel to determine what tomorrow's episode is going to be?
I really should have been on that tab. Come on, good movie. Okay, we have ugly creatures.
You mean beautiful creatures?
Yeah, you mean beautiful creatures.
Good.
They're quite ugly. What?
That's a movie you're not going to like.
Oh, shit.
Because it's a romance movie.
Like, how romance are we talking about?
Well, I mean, there are some other elements to it, because, like, it's also a fantasy story.
I mean, I've gotten into some good fantasy stories.
But, like, it's also a book-to-movie adaptation where, like, most of the movie is faithful to the book.
I mean, my favorite anime has giants and fairies. And demons.
Like, most of the movie is faithful to the book, but the ending is not.
Ah, I see.
So, like, it's another The Darkest Minds type situation. In adaptation-wise, anyway.
So I see, like, I can't judge it on, how faithful it was, but it doesn't really fucking matter, because I'm probably gonna hate it regardless.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, you can join us tomorrow for Beautiful Creatures, and next week for our free movie of the month for May, and Spider-Man Homecoming. So yeah, with all that being said, please get out if you would like to avoid spoilers, because we are going to start discussing the movie now.
The most tragic death happened in this movie. It was Blue Sky.
Yeah, unfortunately, due to Disney would buy Fox after this movie released. Or actually, I think Disney bought Fox before this movie released, but while it was, like, almost going to release. But regardless, with Disney's acquisition of Fox, they then owned Blue Sky Studios, which they pretty much immediately shut down.
Like, wait, hold on a second. I didn't want this. It's like, you get, like, a grab bag. It's like everything you want except one thing. It's like, damn. I don't want to play with you ever.
And see, like, I don't know, this just really kind of upsets me because like Blue Sky, they've made some pretty good movies, and they've made Ice Age. Um,
I mean, a lot of people enjoy Ice Age.
yeah, well, they're wrong. But
I mean, there has to be one somewhat decent blues Ice Age movie.
maybe, but if there is, it's the first one.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's no surprise that series get more boring and stale by age. It's no surprise.
But like anyway, I just nah. I think this is a good note for them to end on. It's a fairly okay movie, which I would say overall that's what Blue Sky puts out. Like Rio is the gold standard for their movies, but I mean even that movie, it's like I don't know, high eights.
Yeah. I mean, I very enjoyed this movie, especially a lot of subtle tones in it.
Yeah. You know what's not subtle about this movie is having the soundtrack feature songs by Will Smith.
Yeah.
That's not subtle at
But it's
all.
a spy
I'm like,
movie.
oh yeah, he's voicing one of the main characters, and also his music is part of the soundtrack. Gee, could you be more obvious? But yeah,
Honestly, so throughout
I don't know.
this movie, the only thing I thought of was Fitz from the Marvel. Like, it's just if he wanted to make his own show or movie, this was what it would be. Like, I honestly,
I
like, not 1-to-1, but I definitely felt Fitz energy with that kid.
yeah, with
Yeah,
Walter, I think
Walter.
his
Yeah,
name was. And if that's not his name, I'm gonna feel absolutely nothing. But
absolutely nothing. Wow. I'm actually
but
gonna look it up.
I don't know. Walter didn't really give me Fitz energy because Fitz very much believes that like violence is sometimes necessary.
I think it's more about like how invested he is in his experiments.
Yeah.
Like when
Of
he
course,
starts talking, all I can hear is Fitz.
from where we are now with Agents of Shield, Fitz's energy is like very different.
Yeah.
I mean, it's starting to get back to where it was before, but for a while it's been depressing.
Oh, absolutely.
But
God,
we're
I
not
am.
here to.
Shit, we have to record that soon, right?
Yeah, very soon we're going to be recording our Agents of Shield season 3 episode, which for you guys should probably have already released.
Yeah, released last week.
But yeah, I think this movie is good fun, but it's really not much more than that. It has some fairly good animation, as you'd expect from Blue Sky. I mean, frickin' hell, they made Rio, and Rio was beautifully animated.
Oh, obviously. I mean, Rio 2 was also
As bad as Rio 2.
Yeah, I was just about to say Rio 2 was also pretty well animated. I think that was the only.
Like as bad as that movie is, it's still very well animated.
That's the only good point I can give it. But hey,
I mean, the voice acting's still good.
that is true.
And that's often a shocker because American voice acting can be very much hit or miss.
Yeah.
I very much believe like British voice actors are a lot better than American ones.
I wouldn't go full on to that, but I can see where you're coming from.
One of the things though, like I got to thinking about it, and like, there were complaints about like Breath of the Wild and like Zelda being British, but like the reason it's so jarring in Breath of the Wild is because Zelda is the only one who's British.
That may make it a bit interesting.
And even her father speaks with an American accent. So, like, what the
I
fuck?
feel like it'd be more interesting if she had fucking like an Irish accent. While everyone else has like a more American accent.
It would be really funny if she had a Scottish accent.
Scottish accent, yeah.
Speaking of Scottish accents, we should cover Brave at some point.
Speaking about covering things, we should probably get back to this movie.
Yeah.
I
So,
actually do
like,
want to talk about something, if you don't mind.
go ahead.
I've noticed that there's actually a lot of subtlety in play in this movie, a lot of show, don't tell. Instead of telling you that the mom is passed, it glances over all of this stuff and shows the American flag that is given to when a person in military passes away.
Yeah, I mean they do later tell you that his mom like actually passed,
I
but
mean, I mean, they fucking told you right in the beginning of the movie when she said, "I will always be there for you." The only thing I thought was, yeah, she's
yeah,
dead.
yeah, for real. But like something I wanted to point out is like Will Smith's character, in like the first scene where we see him and stuff. Like, there's just this moment where he breaks the fourth wall and says something like, I don't think that subtitle was in my favor."
I love
And
that.
then he just never breaks the fourth wall again throughout the entire movie. And I'm like, what?
I mean, I like. I find this a bit more funny than a character that just constantly breaks the fourth wall because it makes you ask, like, wait, what the fuck was that?
I mean, I don't know. I thought Deadpool was
Well,
plenty
yeah, Deadpool was
hilarious.
plenty
Although
hilarious,
this
but
might
just I don't know, it leaves you more in a shock
this
that they just broke the fourth wall and not doing it again.
although I will say this is probably more funny than She-Hulk breaking the fourth wall. I mean, She-Hulk was still hilarious in my opinion, but not as much as this.
I also I just love that moment. I actually had to go back on that when he said it. Like, wait, what did you just say?
Yeah, and also speaking of subtitles, you probably know where I'm going with this.
Hmm.
Thank fucking God the subtitles don't just say speaking blah 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 language or speaking foreign language, whatever. They actually tell you what they said.
Actually, the subtitles in this movie are actually interesting because I believe there are moments where it just says speaking this language, but when it actually wants you to know what when the character is talking to someone else, hell, you don't even have to have subtitles on. There's built-in subtitles in the movie.
See, the weird thing to me is like I was watching it with subtitles on.
Me
And
too, but
like
I saw it
there
beneath
were
it.
times where like the subtitles would be doubled because it was like built in.
Yeah.
But every time someone was speaking a foreign language, the Disney Plus subtitles actually did tell me what they said.
I must have just forgot then. Then again, I did watch this at like, what, 4 a.m.?
Yeah, I just watched it earlier today, so
Yeah,
really
I
not that
couldn't
long
go to
ago.
sleep, so I was like, oh, I need to watch this movie anyway.
Yeah. And I don't know, like I'm glad I watched this movie. Like I don't know if I've mentioned this on the podcast, but like I'm doing a
You
thing
have.
this year where I'm going to shut up. Like I'm trying to finish my thought. Jeez.
Fine, you can finish.
Yeah. So I'm doing my thing. I'm doing a thing this year where I'm trying to watch 100 movies that I've never seen before. I don't know what number this this ends up being. I'll need to go on the spreadsheet and like. I actually don't think I went and added the Matrix Revolutions yet.
I can go check, but
But
I mean, it's on the podcast schedule that we usually pull things from.
yeah, like I I definitely think that this movie is it's another movie that I'm like, yeah, this is probably gonna go above the bad guys. I don't know why the bad guys has become my standard.
Yeah, apparently you're at 12, so 13, 14.
Yeah, but like you also like I'm also not counting Werewolf by Night or the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Those are just on the list for ranking
Oh,
purposes,
okay.
but they're not part of the 100.
So physically 12.
Yeah. But
That was a lot
anyways,
of work, damn. I mean, you still have a lot of the year left, but
yeah, like I have most of the year left, and I mean, I'll get through it. Like, what might end up happening is I literally watch movies every day in like November and December.
hmm. So it would be around the bad guys and Ant-Man and the Wasp's Quantumania.
I don't know. Um, I think it would be between those actually. Um,
I don't know what your
because
bad
like I'm
guys
actually.
rating was. It fucking says check later.
Oh, that's actually kind of funny because I still haven't gone and checked. I don't even know if that episode has released yet. Has it?
Um, the bad guys? I thought it released.
I'm not sure it has.
Well, I mean, it obviously released when these guys are watching it.
Yeah, I mean when listeners are
Yeah, no,
listening.
it was released last month, or
Oh,
actually around this
I
time.
don't remember editing it. But anyway, so this movie, fun action scenes. I will say that. Um, I think it's funny. We talked about fun action scenes yesterday in our recording, but I think these are more fun because they're actually tied to a plot that's like worthy of engaging with.
Honestly, yeah, this is a very engaging movie.
Yeah. Um, and then like there's also some stuff too that like I don't know, it kind of hits me in a weird way. Particularly like there's the scene where Will Smith's character tranquilizes Walter, and I can't remember what he says exactly, but it's something about like I can't lose any more good people, and I'm like, ooh, there's definitely some like trauma there that he hasn't dealt with yet.
Probably, yeah.
And the movie doesn't really ever touch on that again. And
I mean, he is a spy,
honestly,
and
that's
probably. I mean, the mission is threatening literally everyone he's ever known's life.
yeah. But like I was gonna say, I think honestly that is like it's fine that they never actually touch on it. Like, because like everybody has something that they are carrying around from their past um that hurts them,
That is very true, yeah.
and some more than others, some some much more than others. But our past informs our decisions of like the present. So like it leads to him tranquilizing uh, Walter because he's afraid that if Walter comes with him, he will die.
This movie gets, and I actually want to talk about the animation a little bit more, because not only is it a beautiful movie? The fucking gadget scenes, the glitter, everything is just so well animated.
You know, the whole like wackiness of the gadgets, it kind of reminded me of Inspector Gadget.
I have no idea what that is.
How the fuck do you have no idea what that
It's I
is?
just don't know what that is.
I swear to God, Lily. um, well, let's just say we might have to cover that at some point.
Well, maybe we do.
But anyway, uh, it was weird, it was wacky. But you know what else is something odd to me? So Will Smith's character, I still can't fucking remember his name. Um, so he turns into a pigeon, right?
Yeah, he fucking turns into a pigeon. Funniest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, a female pigeon.
Yes.
And like they make one comment about this, and then they never fucking bring it up again.
It's Avery. What happens in the submarine, stay in the submarine.
Also, this makes Walter's like actual pigeon, like his pet pigeon, gay.
Oh shit. Huh. I never didn't think about that before now.
So yeah, this movie has LGBT representation.
Fucking, does pigeons count?
Yes.
And also, I mean, those feelings were clearly not mutual.
Are you gatekeeping pigeon love?
No, I'm pretty sure Will Smith's character is.
No, but like, I don't know. To me, like, the pigeon being gay, that counts.
That is some weird pigeon.
I mean, I think the weird pigeon is the one that swallowed the pen.
Oh yeah,
and
no,
just
that's
started
the weird
doing all
pigeon. Yeah,
kinds of
you're
crazy
right.
shit.
I mean, pigeons are just weird in general, if I'm being honest.
And that one thing where like they turned that guy into like into basically goo. That scene, that everything with him being goo was just disturbing.
Also, Serious String.
Oh yeah, serious string. I also love when that close to the end of the movie when that lady, I think her name is Marcy, funnily enough, because it's quite funny because we just finished
Yeah, we
Amphibia.
did.
Um, um, I loved when she was like, "Oh, that's why I couldn't find you."
You're a fucking pigeon.
Yeah, just yep. That's why.
I love when like the forensics team was like, there's no fingerprints, no DNA, not even a fucking footprint.
Yeah, if he was on this boat, he never touched anything. He never drank anything, and he also apparently didn't have feet.
I hate when I'm going on boats and just don't have feet.
Yeah, I hate it when that happens. So yeah, like I don't know. It made for like an interesting like pair up, but like overall, I think this movie is just kind of average-ish.
I'm gonna go.
Um,
I find this a little bit above average, to be honest.
I mean, the thing that's holding it back for me is that Will Smith's character is just kind of insufferable throughout most of the movie.
I mean, he was, like, for me, he was all right. Just an average spy. Like, like average spies mixed with one of those loose cops from the 90s.
I think the thing that particularly annoyed me about it is like he drank that stuff that turned him into a bird,
Yeah.
and
That
then proceeded to blame Walter for it.
yeah, that was probably the most insufferable part about him. I will agree on that.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, that really kind of just irked me. And also, just it completely unrelated, but I did message you about this when I started watching the movie cuz like there's a scene very close to the beginning where he's like, "You know how you can tell you're the world's greatest spy? Everyone knows your name." And I'm like, "Isn't the whole point for you to not be known?"
Yeah, I also got a chuckle off of that.
Like, I think that would make you the world's worst spy, Mr. Smith. Oh God, Agent Smith.
How
We
did
circled back to the
that
Matrix.
make you remember his name?
No, that's not his name in the movie, but that just happens to be a weird connection to the Matrix.
Oh, right, yeah. Fucking, what was his name? I'm looking up now.
Yeah, it's fucking something. I don't know why my brain keeps going to Hank because I know his name is not Hank. Um,
Lance Sterling.
ah,
That's what it was. It was Mr.
Lance
Sterling. I forgot.
Sterling.
How did I forget that one? It's a very unique name.
It's not that unique. I literally listened to an artist on Spotify with the last
I'm
name
sorry, wait, what?
Sterling. Yeah, she's a
No,
violinist.
not that. Oh shit, Tom Holland was in this movie.
Was
Yeah,
he? Wait, did he voice Walter?
maybe. It doesn't.
I'm gonna have to look.
1 second. Fucking, where is
See,
he?
the thing about Tom Holland is that like he's very good at acting and actually like changing his voice. So like whenever he's a voice actor, I don't tend to notice it.
I like when I look up his it says, well, I look up this movie, it says cast, and Tom Holland's the only one without a character under his name.
Well, like unfortunately, I'm not able to look it up right
So yeah,
now. So like,
okay, if it was Walter, why? Okay, it is Walter. Also, he also voices another character named Walter. Now I need to know how many characters he's voiced with the name Walter.
yeah. I mean, we're gonna be
Two.
seeing. I
It's
mean,
two.
for the listeners of this podcast, they're going to be seeing him again next week, because Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Ah, right. Yeah, but
But it'll be a bit before we sitting here see him again. Because like we haven't even recorded like at the time we're recording this episode, we haven't even recorded Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 yet.
damn, not even volume 3. And never.
I mean, Volume 3 hasn't even released yet.
We could have got a special deal with Marvel, but we didn't.
I don't think we're even capable of getting a special deal with Marvel. I'm gonna
We
be
could
real
beg.
with you.
Aw.
No. But yeah, I don't know. This movie, just something about it. Something about it is charming, and then something about it is just like, all right, this is average. This is a very good note to end on. But that's really not much else to it. Fun action scenes, great animation. Music's okay. I'm not that big of a fan of Will Smith in general.
Well, that's just depressing. I thought he did pretty good. Good in this movie.
I mean, I'm still a fan of Will Smith's Genie. I know a lot of people are like, no one can replace Robin Williams, but like, I genuinely don't think Will Smith was trying to replace Robin Williams. Um,
Yeah. I mean,
and for
is
that
that
matter,
is that it?
when it comes to sorry, just back on that for a second. For that matter, uh, I think were Robin Williams still with us, I think he would have enjoyed Will Smith as the genie.
Guess you'll never know.
But yeah, I mean, more on that when we cover the Aladdin movies.
Honestly, yeah, I don't think I have any
It,
much to say other than movie.
yeah, yeah, it's a fairly okay movie. So
Critic
yeah,
ratings now.
I mean, that's about it. Yeah, I guess critic ratings.
I'm not playing around with scissors. 6.8 out of 10 for IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, 77%, Common Sense Media, 4 out of 5, and 72% of Google users like this movie.
That's really low for Google users.
Very.
Oh wait, I think I know why.
Why is that?
You remember last year's Oscars
No.
when Will Smith slapped somebody?
Oh.
Yeah,
Wait, what?
that might be
Wait, what
why.
did Will Smith do again? I forgot.
I just told you he slapped
Oh, right, yeah.
somebody.
Sorry, that word that you said got a little bit muffled.
But anyway, I think I'm gonna give this movie.
Wait, what was this movie released?
I don't know. I
This
think
movie
it.
fucking released in 2019.
Yeah, it was somewhat recently. I knew. So I think this movie has too much water. So I'm giving it a 7.8 out of 10.
For how much you talked about this movie like just being average, that's a little above average rating. At least I would think.
I don't think that's that above average.
I mean, it's above Rotten Tomato.
Yeah, but Rotten Tomatoes is Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it's too raw for my taste. So, I guess honestly, I'm just going with an 8.
All right. There's really not too many more Blue Sky movies we could even cover. Like they didn't make that many before they were shut down, but
We have all Ice Age.
I really don't want to cover the Ice Age movies. I'm gonna be real.
I think you're overreacting.
No, I think I am reacting quite fairly. I don't want to cover those movies.
There's plenty of way worse movies than just Ice Age. It's just Ice Age.
Yes, but there are 6 of them.
Okay, that's a good reason of why we shouldn't be covering Ice Age. Especially because once we cover the first one, we're basically just signing a contract saying we have to do all of them.
Yeah, it's just, no thanks.
You got me watching fucking Spider-Man.
Yes, but Spider-Man 1 and 2 were at least good.
Yeah. And then there's Spider-Man 3. Amazing Spider-Man 1. Amazing Spider-Man 2. Venom. Let There Be Carnage. And that's almost the same as many as Ice Age movies there are.
I mean, there are people who enjoy Venom. I'm just not one of them because I'm a fan of, comics. But, hey, I mean, that's a story for later, though. I mean, most of it's a story for later. If you want to check out our Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3 episodes, you can.
You have the right. Did you know that?
Yeah. You have the right, the power, and the ability to check out our Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3 episodes. However, you cannot check out our The Amazing Spider-Man episodes because they do not exist yet.
I mean, did you know that you have rights? I'm here to tell you that you do, and so do I.
Yeah, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of Avory.
You know what I say in the court of Avory? We're stalling.
But anyway, with all that said, join us tomorrow for, what was it again?
Um,
Beautiful Creatures.
thank God you
Um,
remembered.
and and next week for our free movie of the month for May and Spider-Man: Homecoming.
And with that,
But with all that being said, I've been Avery, that's been Lily, and we will be seeing you.